Hey everybody, welcome to another Wip Wednesday.
Hi guys.
You're about to cough.
I was about to cough right as the stream starts.
I should have said I was about to start. I'm sorry.
Sorry guys.
Hi everybody.
Well, that was dramatic.
Welcome to another Wip. I should have waited. Welcome to another Wip Wednesday. I'm Lizfaerie.
I'm Joey.
And we're going to show you a couple of my whips that I've been working on. I keep saying our, but you're not really doing any of this. I'm sorry.
Just here by association.
I don't want to give you too much credit, I guess, because I feel like that would make you feel a little uncomfortable. Okay. So we have a slightly better setup this time, but it's not something we're used to, so it might be a little bit awkward with us getting started. So I'm going to start out showing you guys, maybe leave Perry to last. Let's do the smaller ones. So I'm going to start off showing you guys my Steven Universe whips that I've been working on. I have a couple of smaller ones here, and one or two that are a little bit further along. They're a little bit tangled with each other at the moment. So I have Ruby, Sapphire, and Lapis right here, and in a minute I'll show you Peridot because she's further along. Oh, hey, it's Dee. What's up, Dee?
Hey, Dee.
And then I also have Greg, who's also a little further along. So let's start out with, I guess I'll start with Lapis because she's the smallest one. Let's go smallest to biggest, I guess.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a good order.
So the Lapis that I started out with, you can actually kind of faintly see on this camera that I have experimented with shaping her face a little bit. I haven't done any of the stitching to further shape her face, but once the doll is completely done, I will work on that and make it look a little bit more like the character. I'm actually going to have to frog it a little bit because her gem ended up a little lower down on her back than I want it to be, but I'll show you guys the doll a little closer up. So, let's move you guys out of the frame.
You don't exist yet.
So here's what I have so far. I just started working on her bust, and you can see I shaped the face a little bit and gave her a little nose, just like what I did with my Pearl doll, if you guys have seen past Wip Wednesdays. So I'm going to actually pull her face in like that to kind of give her nose a little more shape.
Yeah, make it a
little
more
to make it look
upturned.
A little bit, to make it look more like the character. And obviously I have to give her eyes. But I think I went a little bit too far before I added the gems, so I'm going to actually try to move it up. So I'm going to have to frog it basically back down to the neck, which is what I showed you guys last week. So I kind of haven't made any progress, but this is kind of what it will look like once it's finished, except the gem will be slightly higher up.
It was mental progress. You found a better way to do it. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. No time doing this is wasted, really, when you think about it that way. A lot of the process is the drafting of the dolls.
And that is kind of trial and error and figuring out what you need to do in order to get the types of shapes that you want to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I work everything from my own designs, my own patterns. So like Dee is looking out for thunder and lightning because she's here early. Yeah, well, I'm glad you could make it so early so you could actually catch the whole stream.
I know.
It's a good situation. And we actually made it on time, so yeah, the thunder and lightning is very likely, I guess.
We're all on time today.
We're a little bit late, but we were much less late than we usually are. So that's on time in my book. So yeah, once that is frogged, I can try to move the gem up, but I did just want to show you guys a little bit of just how I've done this initially. There's like a little pocket that I made separately. You can actually see the magic circle of the little pocket that I made for the gem to sit in right here. And I worked around that to kind of embed it into the main doll's body while I was working. And I'll probably do a tutorial for this eventually. It'll just take me some time after I've done working on all of these current dolls that I have going, just so that I can catch up on everything. And I also have a few tutorials and tutorials that I'm filming and editing right now, so I just need to catch up on everything before I can work on this tutorial. But I'm excited to work on more gems this way.
Yeah, I know. They're coming out really, really nice. And I can't wait to see what it's going to look like once the gems like fully set in and shaped to
I worked a little bit on Peridot's gem earlier, and that's another thing is once I show you guys the Peridot, you'll see the kind of finished version of this technique that I did on the Peridot. But I tried to work on the Peridot a little bit earlier, but I just I did it upside down. So I had to frog the whole thing. And then I kind of decided that I didn't want to do it that way anyway after doing that. So in a way, it's kind of better that I did do it upside down in a way, because then I was able to make sure that I was doing it in a way that I liked. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I am going to have to frog this. As happens when you're working on a new. The other thing that I think is going to be challenging with Lapis is because of the placement of her gem, it's going to be hard to get her skeleton in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I will try to figure it out. I almost think I might have to give her a little circle in the middle of her skeleton just to accommodate. Just to like fit around it. Hey, Demonly's here too. Nice,
hey,
nice.
Demonly.
Thunder and Lightning are probably for certain just because like everybody's here, we're on time. It's crazy. Everything's lining up. Okay, so let me move on to the next gem. I guess Ruby and Sapphire are at the same level, like as far as where the doll's progress is, but I guess Sapphire is smaller, so let's do her first. So here's my Sapphire, and also, where did Lapis go? Did you just put her down? Right. Okay. I just want to show, like, the difference in the shades of blue, just so that you can see the different colors that I've used for both Lapis and Sapphire. So, and then also Lapis's head I made a little bit longer, more oval-shaped, I guess. And
she's taller.
Yeah, and Sapphire's is a little bit more round, because I just think that's more accurate with the character. And then also Lapis has this little nose, which Sapphire does not have. Because I don't actually think Sapphire has a nose at all, does she? I don't think she does.
No, I think a lot of times she's not animated.
I don't think she has a nose, so I don't have to worry about that.
If there's any like frames of her, she's shown so little already.
Let's put her to the side. But yeah, I'm trying to use this same technique to make a bunch of different body types. And the gems are kind of perfect for that because of the fact that all of them have such completely different body shapes from each other. And I'm just continually amazed by how versatile this pattern is and how much nuance I can get from the shape of the doll. And all of the dolls that I'm showing you guys today are from this same pattern. So if you just switch around how many rows, how many stitches, how many increases, how many decreases, and where your increases and decreases are, you can change pretty much everything about the doll. So there's my Sapphire. Her, I'm probably going to actually use a bead or something like that for her gem, because it's just a lot easier to find that color and that shape. Yeah. So I'll probably be able to find something that I can use for that, but because of the shape and color of Lapis's and Peridot's gem, I just used that other technique because it was just impossible to find anything that would work. Yeah,
we scoured Michael's and Joanne's.
Yeah, serious. And everything that I could find online was kind of too expensive or too like fancy, I guess, for what it was. So here is Ruby, and Ruby is at the same level. I just finished crafting the booty. And as you can see, it's a completely different body type. Actually, let me just show you guys them side by side just so that you can compare.
Yeah, a lot easier to... You can tell a lot more when they're side by side.
And then once I finish with the doll's body, I'm also going to do some more shaping of the doll with yarn to kind of pull in certain sections of the body and kind of finalize the shape.
Nice.
And that will add a lot of nuance to the shape of the body. But as you can see, this is a really, really versatile shape or a versatile pattern for shaping the bodies completely differently.
Demonly confirmed, Sapphire has no nose.
Yeah, I thought Sapphire had no nose.
It's like Krillin.
I think Ruby has a tiny little nose and Sapphire has no nose. Yeah. So I don't think that like Ruby's nose is big enough that it warrants me like giving it that shaping technique that I used for Lapis's. So that one I'll probably just like either leave it without the nose or maybe I'll stitch it on. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with regard to noses.
I know, right?
I'm not sure yet.
Add a little button nose.
Yeah, I don't know. I could. It would be pretty easy to just add like a couple of like just embroidery stitches of red, just
especially
to give her a little,
for people
little
that have
nose.
Or characters that have like a really minute or like just a small, a small nose. Because do you have one for Steven at all?
I haven't gotten that far with any of the other dolls. Like I just haven't really gotten around to giving them any facial features aside from just dot eyes.
Right.
Which I'm not sure if I might want to just keep them with the dot eyes.
Yeah,
I kind of like the chibi kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of them either having like noses like just in the yarn shape kind of. I like that. And then also just them not having noses at all. I kind of like that as well. So it depends on which character it is. I guess I really liked Pearl with a nose because of her nose being so like iconic to her character's shape.
Yeah.
And then
it's part of the silhouette.
And then I feel like Lapis kind of has the same thing going where she has a lot of like sharp lines.
Yeah.
So
no, agreed.
So I really thought that Lapis needed to have that pointed nose as well. Whereas these two I can just stitch on the noses. And obviously Sapphire has no nose. So next is Peridot. Let me show you guys just her whole body so far. I gave her I finished her leg, which was, I ran out of yarn last week with the amount that I had cut. She does not look very green on this camera for some reason. Well, you'll see how green she is on the other camera.
Right. I think the white balance is just washing her out.
Yeah, it kind of is. That's weird. But, let me put her in front of your shirt. Maybe that's a better background.
A little bit.
Oh, my pin. I'm sorry. Oh, wrong one.
Blinded.
But, so I finished with the leg, and then I did her arm. So now I need to give her her other arm and leg so that she doesn't have these little robot limbs anymore. But I'm really, really happy with the shape that she's getting in so far. And let me show you guys that little embedded gem that I have in her head. And now you can see her beautiful green color. Because she's almost even greener than this because it's so bright. It's kind of like it's just like
it's kind of like it's like
it's
highlighter.
Like you can kind of see how highlighter it is. It's so bright that it's like reflecting on the camera, and it's kind of a little tough to see. I'm really, really happy with the shape of this leg. I think that came out great. Hopefully I remember how I did that. I'm pretty sure I remember how I did that. I think it was pretty simple, actually. But,
Dee says she loves when you have a pattern that can be modified.
Yeah,
Lol.
yeah. I like, my favorite pattern is not having a pattern at all, so I need for everything to be modifiable because that's just how I work.
Be like the Bruce Lee of crocheters. Supposed to have no style.
I guess so. Well, I mean, I guess I have a style, but I don't have like a method, or I guess I don't know. I don't have like a set in stone thing that I'm doing. Like I don't have to like.
Well, you're always learning and changing how you do things, and it's good to evolve.
You can already see the Peridot evolving into this doll.
Right, she's got so much sass.
But yeah, I just keep thinking this looks like she has one big Cyclops eye, which is not the case. She's going to have some little eyes down here. But that's a great idea
for something later.
I know, right? That would be cool to do. I've done so many other random Greek mythology creatures.
I know, a Cyclops would be pretty cool.
But yeah, so I'm going to give her two little eyes right here. So just imagine there being two little eyes right here. The visor is going to be a bit tough, actually. And then I made her head a little bit bigger than it kind of maybe needed to be, just because I know her hair is really big. So I kind of wanted to make her head bigger to add some more volume to the hair.
So you can work around the head and make it look
a little bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah,
because maybe this is how big the head needed to be, but I added like a ton of extra. She has like a totally just alien head right now. Like I just keep thinking she just looks like a stereotypical alien. Like
I know, right? She's
iconography.
Green, she's small. She's got a big eye.
I love these cute little toes though. Or like I just like that's another thing that I will show you guys later, but it's just these the way that the feet work on this pattern I like a lot.
I know, right? That's like a ballerina freaking point.
Yeah, like with my pearl. Oh, so good. I just really like this pattern. I want to experiment with trying to make the feet like smaller because I have used this technique to make smaller feet. It's just like with the shape and size of these dolls, I've just been making them with larger feet. I guess it's just part of the style that I was going for. But I think I want to try to do more realistic body shape dolls. So I think that because I want to try to do that, I'll end up doing a little bit smaller feet on future dolls.
Right.
But I'm excited to try that out.
Yeah.
And we have one more Steven Universe doll to show you.
It's Mr. Greg.
Yeah, it's Greg. I finally finished his leg, which I mistakenly went on for too long using the wrong color, so I frogged that and added the right color. And now you can see he has his signature sunburn lines starting to take shape. I just have to finish one more arm and one more leg, and then his whole body should be complete. And then I can finally start working on giving him some clothes because I just feel so bad that he's that he doesn't have any clothes yet.
Oh, and Dee's giving you some love on your hat.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I did actually. Yes, this is a crocheted hat, I guess. I guess I'll show you that real quick, you guys.
Right.
Oh, my hair.
No.
But yeah, see, if I hold it real close, you can see the stitches. But I think this is just like a red heart and a Karen Simply Soft in black strung together. And I just worked on the front loops of the stitches so that it has like a continuous line on each stitch.
And then somewhere around here, didn't you have like a ribbon or something that you'll throw on the top?
Yeah, I have a ribbon somewhere that I put on
like
sometimes,
a long time ago.
But I don't know where it is.
It got away.
It's kind of more comfortable without the ribbon, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's able to stretch, not squeeze on your head so much.
Yeah, yeah. So, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Greg.
It's Mr. Greg.
So, here's Greg. I haven't sewn his arm on yet, but that will probably happen by the next time that you see him. And I'm just loving these colors so much. I'm so happy that I found this color. It actually took us a long time to find this color. Like the perfect sunburn pink.
Right.
So I'm glad that we found it because it's perfect. It looks like he's wearing like a weird shoe at the moment. But once everything is sewn together, I think it'll
It's
look
almost
good.
like he's wearing like a modern dance leotard. Right? But
It's
just
like
it's
like
sleeves.
in nude and it doesn't quite match his skin tone.
Exactly.
He's like just got a slightly red skin tone, so the nude leotard doesn't quite match.
Yeah, right. They just didn't quite match his color, so.
Yeah, it kind of does look like that now that you mention it. Once he has clothes on, maybe it will look better. I don't know.
Can't unsee.
But yeah, I'm ready for this to be finished. I've wanted to make Greg for a long time, so I'm just ready to have my Greg.
With the beard on his face, I love I think it's like the left side has a random curl just with how it ended up, and I think it looks so cool, even though I know it's so random. It's like impossible to get that to happen on purpose, probably, but it has like the perfect little curly Q side to it.
How did that happen?
Right?
Oh, I see.
I keep on tripping out.
I see how that happened
because it looks so like crisp almost.
It's because of the because I switched colors to this color after this stitch. That's what that little tiny tip is.
Right.
And then I switched colors way earlier here, and that's what this stitch is. So it's like because I changed colors in just that way, it ended up with this little tiny little sliver. Because it has just that
perfect little
yeah, that's so trippy.
Hook to it, and I always keep focusing on that.
He looks like he's got a little curled mustachio.
Yeah, he does totally.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna leave it like that.
No,
I don't
know.
think it's really
just
gonna
a
make
tangent.
I don't think it'll make a difference to the.
And
final
it's almost like that on the other side a little bit, but it's just the
opposite way. Because see that little sliver is now the other color because it's going in the opposite direction.
Right.
So each time that there's like a tiny little sliver, that's because there was a color change. See, there's another one right there.
Yeah, no.
Another one right
there.
I
can see how it's forming. It's just funny that the way the color change happened,
on the other side.
Just the way that looks.
Yeah, I've never really found a way that I like to make that color change line look really crisp and like clean. I'm sure there's a way, but I don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
But it always has these little flecks that you can see through the other color a lot of the time.
Yeah, that seems like it would take a lot of meticulous fine tuning to figure out.
And then I do like to pull my tail ends through, so you can see a little bit of the coral peeking through. Mm-hmm. But it's okay. It's stubble. That's just his skin.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It looks really good.
Greg is shaping up to be one of my favorite dolls that I've made, though, just because I love how his body shape is turning out. Like, I love it. It just looks so accurate to the character, so I'm excited for what it's going to look like once he's got, like, his costume and his, like, wig, which I'm still not sure how I'm going to do the wig yet, because he doesn't have, like, the top of his hair, so there's not going to be anything to grab onto the scalp with. So I'm not sure how to do his wig. I'm almost thinking I might have to do, like, just a line of hair and then, like, pin it inside with, like, bobby pins or something. Because I don't really know how else I can make a bald top wig.
Right. I know.
Aside from just, like, pinning it to the sides.
Yeah, that's going to be
And
curious.
I don't really want to, like, to anchor the strands. I think I want it to be removable. I guess I don't need it to be removable, because I guess if I wanted to make young Greg, I would have to make a completely different doll, because the skin tone is different, and because the body type is different.
Right.
So, like, and then also the facial hair he wouldn't have as well. So it's like, I guess I don't need for it to be removable. So I don't know. Maybe I should just anchor the strands.
There might be. I don't know. Could brainstorm. There might be a way to have, like, attachable, like, hair that just wraps around the back or something, instead of making a full wig cap.
Demon Lee is still not finished with the Navy Ruby. And yeah, I've been there. We've definitely scoured Michael's a couple of times.
In the yarn aisles, just going up and down, referencing colors.
And just discussing which ones are closer. And then leaving with nothing.
Sometimes, yeah. We'll have a very specific color in mind when we go, and it's like, no, they don't
have anything.
And anything that we find just won't be, like, close enough to feel justified in getting it, because then it just won't look right.
And then we kind of live, like, in a bit of a middle of the nowhere area, so there's not that many.
The places we have to go
choices that we have. If anything, I have to buy online, and if I'm buying online, I have to know what it looks like before I buy it, which almost kind of defeats the purpose of, like, trying to get a new color.
Because that's the whole thing, is that cameras, as you guys know, cameras distort color. Yeah. And so trying to find an exact color online to buy.
Poor Peridot. You can't see what color she is at all.
Serious.
All right. So the next thing, are we doing Kitty Girl or Bear Girl next?
Maybe Bear.
Let's go with Bear Girl. There's actually not much progress on her, but I have to, like, say, we're not going to say what we've progressed on.
Bit of a disclaimer.
Just because we're not sure what effect that will have on the video. It might get demonetized. We don't know. Sometimes videos get demonetized for this type of thing, and that's no good. But I'm going to show you my progress that I made. It is on one thing. We're not going to say what that thing is, though. Just warning. Just a warning. Okay. So here is where we are so far. I wanted to do a more realistic look for this doll, because this is actually a commission piece. So that's why this doll is getting a bit of a more realistic look. And this is what I have so far for what I've been working on. We went to Michael's the other day and we looked through his segue from what we were just talking about. We just looked through all the embroidery floss for a long time to try to find that perfect shade. And I think we did find it. And, like, the colors aren't quite accurate on this camera. It makes everything look a little more yellow. I guess the brown of the skin tone is a lot less yellow then it looks, oh, there we go, focus.
Yeah, there's the focus.
So the colors on the skin tone is a little bit less yellow, and the color of the new piece, let's say, is a little bit more like, I would say, like a saturated shade of this color, I guess, would you say?
Yeah.
It's a little more saturated. Like, it's not as washed out as it looks on this camera, I guess. I don't know why this looks so yellow. That's weird.
Maybe it's this much light bouncing off of it.
Yeah, maybe it's just the lighting.
You could turn the light on the Keo down, maybe.
So yeah, this one's getting a little bit more of a realistic look. And she's going to be a bear girl. She doesn't have her ears yet, but she is going to be a bear girl. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did on my bunny girl. If you guys have been following that, I'm going to be fluffing out her body so that she has a furry texture. And then before I do that, I'll be removing this, and then I'll sew it back on after the fluffing is finished, because I think it would be a little hard to not damage it.
Yeah, no, for real. You don't want to fluff that.
Yeah. So, and she will be wearing clothes, so that's not going to be showing in the final doll, but it is something that my friend wanted the doll to have, so that she would look a little bit more realistic and a little bit more, I guess, like body positive stuff, because of the kind of work that my friend is into doing. So yeah, that's going to be super cute, and also it's nice to be doing something like realistic.
Yeah.
Like with the body type and with like the physiology just in general that
almost
she just
had
has.
To stay away from a little bit.
Yeah, because that is something that I have made a couple of times on like dolls that I've made in the past, not on the channel, but it's like not something that I guess I would like feel as
comfortable.
It's not that I wouldn't be as comfortable, it's that YouTube isn't as comfortable.
That's true.
So like it's not that I don't want to do it, it's that YouTube doesn't want me to do it, and that's going to make it not like be able to be monetized sometimes. And hopefully, because we heard, hopefully this video is okay. Hopefully I won't get demonetized for some fabric that happens to be in the shape of like freaking anatomy. Right. But you know, we don't know what YouTube is going to decide.
So. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Oh yeah, and side note, we're almost to 10,000 subscribers. We are so close. And if we get to 10,000, that means that we are less likely to stay demonetized for wrongfully demonetized content. Yeah. So if something gets demonetized or flagged and it shouldn't be flagged, which most of this stuff should not be flagged because it is fabric. They're dolls. It's cloth. This is fabric. This is art, so it's not like lewd or anything like that. It's just fabric. Right. So but if stuff gets wrongfully demonetized and I appeal it, I think that if I have more than 10,000 subscribers, I get a higher priority on them reviewing my video. So that's something that would help a lot. Yeah, because that makes a big things being wrongfully demonetized.
Because when a video gets demonetized, most of those initial hits that we get, we won't get any, money from that. We are doing this to, try and feed ourselves and support ourselves. So
to help, because I mean, it doesn't pay very much.
It helps.
It does help, though. It helps. Okay, so next thing we're going to show is the kitty girl. I finally finished all of the pieces. I posted a picture on Instagram, but it was of her back, so I will show you the front of the body now. She's got some lint on her. I'm just removing that. Okay, so here's what we have so far for the kitty girl. This is kind of an example of the aesthetic of like the bear girl that I just showed you guys. So it's going to be similar to this, except like what I did with the bunny girl, I'm going to fluff her out after I finish the entire body. So once that's done, I'll show you guys the difference. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm really excited for this one. I've been really excited about this.
She almost looks like she's ready to fight.
And her arms aren't even sewn on yet. That's just like how they ended up after I stuck them on. So maybe she's just naturally ready to fight. She's a brawler cat.
That's like all cats. When they're brought into existence, they're just ready to fight. Ready to go.
So let me show you guys a little bit of a closer view of this kitty girl. So I just finished with these little ears. This was the last thing that I did. I also finished with her other arm. I don't think that I had finished with that the last time that I showed you guys this kitty girl. So let me show you guys both of her arms are finished. And the tail is finished, but I'm pretty sure I showed you guys that last time, but I'm showing you it again because it just looks cool.
I know, the tail looks nice. Just this whole piece looks really, really nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This is like one of my favorite pieces that I've done recently. And you can see I didn't do very good with my tension here, and that's one of the things that you have to be careful with when you are working with a darker color.
Right.
So
got to keep those stitches tight, not show anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little tough at the feet just because of the way that I build them. So, another thing that you could do also is, if you make another doll before you make something like this, you could make the hair of that doll out of the same color and then use the fluff from the hair to stuff the doll, and then it won't show because it'll be the same color. But it is better to try to maintain your tension and make sure that none of that shows. Yeah. It will show less once I fluff it out.
That's true.
The fluff will cover it up a little bit.
Bulk,
so that'll help. And also it'll just like comb over it.
Yeah, right.
It's like a bald patch.
It'll be a little comb
over.
Hide it over. Just on the
hide
ankle.
it a little bit.
No. It happens. There's a little bald patch on the ankle. It's okay.
And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the placement of these ears. I think they came out pretty nice. Like, I haven't sewn them on yet, obviously. You can see they're pinned into her head. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the placement of the ears. I want to give her a wig like I did with my bunny girl, but I'm kind of still on the fence about what I want to make her wig look like. So again, if you guys have any suggestions for my kitty girl wig, you can leave that in the comments. And I will check that when the stream is over. Also, I'm probably going to give her blue eyes just because that's like a classic Siamese thing. Yeah. And again, shape the face a little bit with stitching after the doll is complete. And also I have to shape the body still a little bit with the actually it came out pretty good.
It did come out pretty nice, and that's before
that's before I've even shaped it. I think it's just because of how I sewed the tail on. Maybe it like pulled the fabric together.
Yeah,
at the booty a little bit, so that probably helped a lot. But yeah, once I do all of the stitching at the face and at the bust, that's going to help a lot with the shape of the doll. I'm excited to have her ears on finally. Okay. So last thing before the other thing. I'm gonna show you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This doll is almost finished. I hacked off her feet and now she has one back again. So she's gotten her foot re-added and I have to put her last foot on.
That looks much.
It looks much better, right?
Yeah.
Those feet were terrible.
Well, they were just big, you know. Like...
Well, they weren't just big. The problem was that the bottom was all messed up because this was the first doll that I made like this, actually.
Right.
You can kind of see. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see anymore, actually. I might have repaired it. But the arms used to not even be sewn together. They were kind of just looped through through the stitches, kind of, and like kind of cinched in there.
That's funny.
And like there's no knee. Like there's only a back of the knee, but there's no like front of the knee like I have on a lot of my other dolls.
Right.
And like probably there's some weird stuff going on under there that that we can't even see because I covered it up with her dress because I was so ashamed of how bad it
looked. I know, right? Never to be seen again, covered with frills.
I know, right? But yeah, it looks okay at the top though. I did a good job there, but the bottom probably not so much because of how I don't remember. It just looks suspicious to me. But yeah, the bottom of the foot though was it was kind of like janky. Like I didn't really know what I was doing when I got to the foot, and I kind of just left it with just a big open gash that I kind of like hastily sewed closed in a really bad way that did not look good. And now that is all fixed, and it's just a continuous like bunch of rows that like. Oh yeah, and then the other thing is that her skeleton used to end here. So the ankle was not articulated before.
Right.
It is now. So now we can
cool.
do all of the feet things.
We can point and flex.
Yeah. So the feet are just much improved. Nice. And as you can see, like I added a bunch of wire to the skeleton. You can see this thick area here is where the joined together part is. Right. So this is where it used to end. Okay. And let me just show you guys her face real quick because it's coming along.
Yeah. Mm.
Still need to add those eyebrows back on, and I need to do a little bit of cleaning up on the whites of her eyes. And then the inside of her mouth I want to like, because right now it's just all tongue. She looks like she's like, But yeah. It's looking pretty good though.
Yeah, no, that looks really, really nice.
Okay. So speaking of which, we're about to talk about the experiments.
Oh yeah.
That's the last thing that we have to talk about. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I posted the before picture of this, but I haven't posted the after because the after is not finished yet. I'll show you guys this update here.
Explain the process a bit before.
Yeah. So if you want to see the before, you can check out my Instagram. I don't have that queued up or anything, so I can't like put it up on the screen or anything like that. So I was experimenting with doing a more realistic doll head, and I did a pretty successful draft of that. But the reason I did that was because I've been experimenting with trying to make a more traditional type of doll. And what I mean by that is, could you grab that?
This one?
Yeah. I more mean something along the lines of like your Barbies of the world, something like in this vein. But like I made it with an enlarged head just because it's easier, and I used a crocheted base for that, and basically I just hardened it in Mod Podge, and I'm going to be attempting to sand and podge this until it's smooth, essentially, so that it has a more plasticky type surface.
Right.
So let me show you the phase that it is at right now, and you can see that it's got a pretty detailed sculpt starting.
Right.
You can still see a little bit of the stitching because I have only done a couple layers of glue, and this on the top of the head is actually chalk because I was marking in where the hairline is going to be. So all of that is done. I'm just going to continue to like sand down, and I haven't actually sanded it down at all yet, so this is completely just glue and yarn only. And I shaped the face a little bit during the gluing process with some pliers just to give it a more realistic shape.
Yeah,
and
just like as it was curing, basically.
Yeah, and to kind of like give the eyes more of like a whole, like in the eyes, and like shape the nose a little bit. And also, by the way, this is like, it's a pretty hard piece.
It's pretty dense, like, because I think you were thinking of maybe having to add stuff inside to keep it from collapsing, but really it seems with how much it's hardened, like...
Yeah, it, like, literally, it feels like a Barbie head, you know? It feels exactly like a Barbie head. And I should be able to, like, root hair into it just because of, like, I mean, it's already got, like, these holes in it, and it's, like, hard enough. I'm pretty sure I should be able to root hair into it and just squirt a bunch of Fabri-Tac in there to, like, hold them in.
Right.
And, like... But I want to do, because I've done this once before. I didn't ever show this on the channel because it just wasn't something that like I ever did for the channel.
Project
yeah, it was a side piece. But so it was like a side project that I did. I actually made I don't know if you guys know what this even is. It's a Wampa rug. It was a Star Wars reference thing, but it's like kind of like a bearskin rug type of thing, except it was like a abominable snowman type of aesthetic creature.
Right.
But I made that for one of my brother's friends for like their wedding, and when I made the eyes, I just didn't really have time to order giant plastic like safety eyes in that size. So I just made some using this technique, and I just basically made some magic circles in black, and then I dipped them in Podge, sanded them, dipped them, sanded them over and over again until they were pretty smooth, and then I just painted them over with acrylic and then sealed them, and they were pretty solid safety
pretty
eyes.
Amazing. They were super glossy, and they held their shape too. Like you could scrunch it
down.
Yeah,
just like how this is, like how you can just kind of squish it down and then it kind of like comes back to like its shape. I mean, with like a little bit of help, but it kind of like has that texture of like a vinyl doll head kind of. So that's just something that I'm going to experiment with trying to do, just to kind of make a more traditional looking doll using this technique. And it'll be like a lot more lightweight than a lot of other methods, and like kind of just way easier to get everything to be like symmetrical and
super versatile too,
and just versatile body shapes and like face shapes and head size, just everything customizable essentially if this works. So I'm hopeful that this will work, and if it does, I'm pretty excited to try to
just go crazy.
A little bit, because I'm like I've really not talked about this that much, but I'm like a huge fan of like the OOAK doll like community, and I haven't really like done anything like that on my like myself, like short of just like making clothes for dolls and then also just making my own dolls. But like I would love to be able to start making like custom traditional dolls, like with things like Barbie aesthetic type of thing. So that would be a really, really cool thing to like try to do. And D says polyfill people make different color stuffing. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Please, polyfill, make different color stuffings. For goodness sake, we need at least a dark color stuffing.
Right, you'd think like, at least like a white and a black or something.
At least black or something. Like, come on, guys. Come on, get on that. People will buy it.
Or gray.
I've had multiple people tell me that they're like, is there somewhere I can buy that?
Right.
But no, there isn't. So get on that, polyfill. Make that. Right. Make it. The people want it. So that's the last thing that we were going to talk about. Just gonna show this one more time to the camera because I'm just like
trippy.
I'm still tripped out on it. Come on, camera, focus. Thank you.
Focus.
So that's where we're at so far. I've done a little bit of mild sculpting on the nose and on the lips. Like you can see where it kind of pops out. I want to do some sanding and then another layer of glue and then more sanding and just see how well this turns out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're at this time. So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Thanks for chatting with us tonight.
What are we at, number 26?
And this is the 26th? Yeah, I think this is the 26th. Is it? What is this? Where am I?
When are we? What?
Where am I? We are on...
But thank you guys so much for joining us.
What in the world? Where's the title of the stream? Yeah, 26. There it is. All right.
I guessed right. I mean, I didn't guess. I knew the whole time.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us this time for our 26th Wip Wednesday. And if you want to help us to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark, then spread the word wherever you think anybody that would be interested in learning crochet with us. And that's it for this week. We're going to be off next week because it's the first Wednesday of the month. We're off the first Wednesday of the month.
The schedule we're going by right now.
Yep, that's our current schedule. And so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And that's pretty much it. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.